Today I wanted to talk to you about some ways that you can kind of maneuver around these uncertain times with your mortgage payments. Because us as homeowners, if we've lost our jobs or things have kind of slowed down with our hourly wage and hours at our job, these 7 tips are really going to help you to be able to kind of move, your money around so that way you can keep your homes. Okay. Number one, forbearance. Recently, they've made it a lot easier to qualify for forbearance. So all you have to do is boom, 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 pick up the phone, call your mortgage and say, hey, I'm having a hard time because of XYZ. They'll literally push your payments back for 3, 6, or 9 months. Now, the pros is to this is you'll be able to make partial payments during this time, and those partial payments will go straight towards your principal balance. And you literally have no interest during this time, so that could help you knock down some extra principal. The kind of downside is that at the end of it, at the 3, 6, or 9 months, you have those payments plus your next payment that's due all at the same time. So this is not a hey, you're not supposed to make payments. This is more of a hey, how can I make room to get back stable? Okay. The next way is a loan modification. Now, a lot of people don't know about this, but you originally go in and purchase your house with a 30-year fixed rate at this amount of payment. You can go in and negotiate with the bank and say, hey, look, I'm coming up on hard times. Can we restructure this? Okay. A lot of the times the restructure does include no payments for 45 or 90 days. And of course, if you've missed payments, then you can, just substitute that time. But the bad part to this is that sometimes that interest rate is going to be a little bit higher because, of course, it's now a little bit more riskier loan. But that is an option for you to help extend payments or even stop foreclosure. Okay. The next way that's really good is to help pay off the arrears. Okay. So when I say arrears, I mean your monthly payment is $800 and you haven't made payments in 3 months. You can find a way to pay off the arrears. Okay, one federal program that most people don't know about, if you have an FHA loan, you can call HUD and actually get approved for a non-interest FHA get caught up loan. Okay, so let's say that you're $5,000 behind, you can call HUD. If you're approved for this non-interest loan, they will pay for your payments to get caught up and put their loan on the backside so you don't pay it until your first loan is all paid up for. Great solution for you. Honestly, it doesn't take a lot to get approved for at all. Because once again, if you have an FHA loan, they want you to be in the house. They don't want houses. They want you to be in it, paying taxes, keeping up the property. Okay, great strategy right there is to paying off the arrears. Also, you can also have a family member help you out with those payments if you're not approved for the FHA loan, or you can also have an investor step in and pay off your arrears, and he can take over your payments that way too. So the next one is deed in lieu. Okay, now deed in lieu is kind of a bank trick. Okay, so once again, foreclosure is super expensive for banks, so you can offer the banks a deed in lieu. Instead of them paying to foreclose on you and it affecting your credit, you can say, hey, Mr. Bank, look, I know that I haven't paid. I know that I know this is not good for you and not good for me. How about this? How about you give me 45 days to move out, and I'll just deed the property back to you, no harm, no foul, and you don't affect my credit. The banks are open to this. Now, sometimes they'll do a title search right before they agree to this, because if you owe somebody for a roof that you didn't pay, or have a judgment or a secondary lien on your mortgage, they won't necessarily approve you for this, because then they'll be responsible for that new debt versus a foreclosure. A foreclosure wipes out that debt. Okay, so the next solution is a short sale. Short sales are great. Okay. Now we'll say sometimes the process can be a little long, but a short sale is when the bank agrees to accept less than what you owe. So you owe 200, your house is really worth 100 grand as is. If you have an investor like myself that's willing to come in and pay $100,000 for it cash, they'll, sometimes they're willing to take the 100,000 because it's right then, right there, as is, as is, and they're open to settling their debt. This happens a lot of the time, not just with mortgages, but with Medicare collections, with judgments, with city liens, and with a bunch of different types of companies, not just banks. So remember that, it's super important, and it can also just really help you. And the next one, of course, is just to pay off the balance in full. Okay, so now this paying the balance off in full can come in many different ways for you, the seller. Number one, it could be from an investor like me. Number two, it could come from a friend or family member. Number three, you could refinance. Let's say you got behind on payments because you lost your job and because of the pandemic that we're going through, and now you got a new job. You can now refinance and qualify for a new loan and just pay off that mortgage, or use several other strategies just to pay it off. I hope that these 7 tips helped you come up with a strategy to extend or delay foreclosure to help you during these times, or just to help you, period, stop foreclosure. Okay. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm always researching like new topics and tactics of how to help sellers, and then of course for me to be in the know as a homeowner as well. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.